fine. So I think some of the best ideas for a new business or a new invention were ideas that you could take stuff that we normally have all around us, but we're not currently using for energy or whatever purpose, and turn that into some type of energy. My idea was to use a concept basically that it relies on the fact that the pressure of air molecules or gas molecules change depending on the change in temperature. And so I thought of these little tubes you could put inside the studs of a building, someone's house, and at the top there's a reservoir that you could have any type of gas. I used helium as an example because that's the most, we have the most thermodynamic information about them. There's a reservoir at the bottom as well, and as the temperature changes during the day in the house, it causes the pressure to change and shoots the gas up or down depending on if it's cooling or heating up. And then in between there, there's a bunch of wind turbines using the Faraday method to collect the electrical energy. The brilliance of the idea is that you can put these anywhere. You can put them in someone's house. You can put them in any type of building, a stadium. They can be used in any country. You could use them for light posts. So for a city, you wouldn't have to power the light posts. The power would just be in the pole right there. Maybe there's places where, like the Arctic, where you don't get solar power or even the sun for over a month. This invention would work there as well. You could even put them in cars. People could use them for canes. And when dogs start listening to iPods, we could put them on their legs. So maybe that's a little bit ridiculous, but the idea is that it's very cheap to build these tubes. You could use recyclable aluminum cans because it doesn't require that much pressure. I mean, literally, I was doing some estimations the other day, and it would take about $5 per one of these tubes, and that was a little overestimating. You could sell them at any price you wanted to. You could sell them in third world countries to help them get more energy for a really cheap price. And you could sell them in the U.S. for a higher price because everybody needs energy. And so that's basically my idea. So thank you.
Okay, so my question was mostly around how much pipe you need to create ample.
Well, you can use. I mean, it all depends on what you want to, like how much energy you need. You wouldn't need to fill a whole house to get enough energy. You could put the pipe as tall as you want. I mean, it's just how much do you want to harness, basically.
Okay, so as an example, on the light post, you have a picture of
Yeah.
the exterior light post. The pressure inside the light post tube is going to be changing probably twice a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that going to be better than you want light post?
Yeah, and I mean, if one tube wouldn't, you could have multiple tubes, and you don't need to have, I mean, the wattage on the light bulb can change.
You can try to test, like in any way, no matter how you can put some of these fans that you wanted on a tube. Because once you put a fan inside the tube, it's not feasible to have a small tube. You need to have a much bigger tube to accommodate for the fan. So like something like a light post, it's not going to work for a dot's length.
No, yeah, that's a great question. And I wish I could have talked more about it. Sorry, I didn't know if I wasn't loud enough. I wanted to talk more about that, but I only have 3 minutes. And so there's another actual good idea besides just using like the wind turbines. And that's, someone did some research, I think, at MIT or something like that. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I read about it, and I haven't seen it used yet, but I think it's a great idea. And all it uses is little pieces of film that flutter up and down whenever any type of pressure goes on them, and they harness the same energy. And I actually think that's going to be a more efficient way of doing it. And as far as your question about if I physically tested it out, I haven't built a model